Well, I'm gonna cut that. What's good, everybody? Well, I really talking myself, but today I read Genesis 37 through 43. I'm going to do Genesis 37 through 50, actually, but I stopped at 43. I had to get into something, and what I took away from it was Joseph, right? He was most hated. You know, he was protected by God the whole time, and the people around him didn't see that. You know, they didn't see it how he see it. He told them the dreams he had. He told them, you know, specifically the dreams, but that's no different than telling people your aspirations, your goals, your what you just see in your life, you know. And we all faced that before, you know, just people that's not believing in us, and it's tough, you know. That's not enough for us to just give up and turn away from what we know to be true. You know, when God bless us with something and just bestow visions or just signs upon us, we should take it serious, like super serious, because that desire is from God himself. See what I'm saying? It's protected by God. You have to act on it though, right? That's a part of the free will that we have. You have to act on it. So he was cast away. You know, his brothers left him for dead. Basically, they all turned their back on him, you know, and just discarded him. You know, took his robe, you know, deceived their own father, right? Put the animal's blood on the robe, and you know, they stripped him from everything that was making him a part of the family. To me, that was the representation of the robe, right? Throwing him in the pit. One of the brothers knew, like, man, I can't live knowing I killed my brother. So let's just leave him in the pit. You know, let's just ignore him. You know, we gonna cast him out of the family. We ain't gonna claim him no more, right? And that's how it be. You know, we no longer associate with just low negative vibrations. However, we know that it's a part of the world we live in. Give me a second. So even after that, you know, Joseph was sold into slavery, right? So he get there, and the Pharaoh took a liking to him, so he made him in charge of basically everything in the house. You know, everything but his wife, right? His wife, everything was fine. Joseph was up the rank, doing well, living a different life. You know, he no longer was troubled by the memories of his past, right? He was moving up in rank, so he was faced with something. You know, like I said, the Pharaoh gave him control over everything but his wife, right? And it's not that Joseph even wanted to. Joseph knew it was wrong. He was like, how can I sin against God? How can I do this? Like, how can I do this knowing that it's wrong? And I know God watching me. I knowing that they watching. I ain't finna mess up no happy home, only if y'all know what that means. But y'all will hear sooner or later. It's just so, it's beautiful knowing that even when you're being punished, you're still protected by God. Because look, right, the lady, she told a fib. You know, she told a lie. And I remember growing up, my mama didn't like us saying lie, so we had to say told a story. Well, you're not telling the truth, you know, but she didn't like us saying lie. But you know, she made a fabricated story about how he tried to, what she said, laugh. He came in to laugh at her. I was reading out the King James version, you feel me? But that's no different than her just saying, like, he came in there, tried to do something with her, you know, tried to take advantage of whatever she told her husband. You know, she was like, how can he do this to me? You gonna let him do this to me and you ain't gonna do nothing about it? You know, psyched up over, he let a woman psych him up. You know, that's the number one, not, I ain't gonna say the number one. That's one of the biggest crash out moves ever in the world, letting a woman get to your head and allowing her to. It's crazy because I believe he was a rapper. He was in the feds because he popped somebody because he told the story on what's that guy name? What's that guy movie? I mean, it's a podcast when they sitting in a barbershop. He was a battle rapper. I forget his name, but that literally happened to him, you know. And I remember seeing him before that though, like, and seeing that he went to jail like a couple years back, and he got out, did the podcast, and he was telling them like, yep, this is what happened. The girl got in his head and A dude was playing with him, and it wasn't that like he just was like, I don't know, I can't even speak on it. It's not my story. I'm just using that to relate what's going on, because the Pharaoh allowed that to happen. He allowed that woman to just deceive him and send Joseph to prison. And it's like I said, excuse me, it's so wonderful knowing that even when you're being punished, God still got you. He protected you. He got his arms around you the whole time, right? So when he got to prison, the man in charge of the prison made him in charge of the prisoners. So it's like, man, I'm supposed to be in prison. I'm a prisoner. How am I in charge of the prisoners? That's how God works. I promise you, I'm seeing this clear as day. I'm seeing it clear as day with my own life experiences. And that's the thing about God. When you read this Bible, it's said in the Bible, do not lean on your own understanding, right? When you pray to God and you go to him and ask him for help, I promise you, he gonna send signs to you. He gonna send things to you to know. And for me, it's just been signs of moving forward. It hasn't necessarily been a person or a church that been getting me to this point. I just been staying with God, trusting him, knowing that he gonna lead me to where I need to be, right? And it's really just leading back to the word. I don't use the word to justify my wants, to justify what I just want to get out of life. You feel me? Because he say also I should have no wants. I lay amongst green pastures. You feel me? That's a whole nother conversation. Psalms, what's that, 26? Is that Psalm 26? No, I think that's like Psalms 54. I believe it's Psalm something. Excuse me, Psalm something. But I'm gonna do a better job at just memorizing these scriptures and the verses, so I can know for sure where to go, so I can know for sure where to send you when you looking, right? And that's how God works. So man, what else happened? I like this part, right? Because the cupbearer and the cake baker, they were sent to prison, right? They had these dreams, and Joseph literally interpreted their dreams for them. And a matter of 3 days, forget that number 3 is so significant. Y'all gotta know that. Shout out to the life path number 3. Shout out to people who birthday on the 3rd. Shout out people who birthday on the 30th. Shout out to people who just numbers in their life add up to 3. You know what I mean if you know something. You feel me? I have 3 children currently, and my last son is a representation of me all the way. Seriously, like it's beautiful, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's beautiful. I'm doing my best to. This is an instruction video. This video is really for myself, but I'm gonna just post it anyways, just so y'all can know what's going on. Where was I headed with this, right? So I'm just telling y'all the story of Joseph, right? Because I love this story. I like the story. Love it. Love it, like it, whatever. Like it meant something. I was really in tune with what was going on. So he in prison, right? Don't. All right. So matter of fact, let's do a recap, because there's nothing wrong with slowing down and doubling back and double checking yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Joseph, I'm not really sure what was going on before this. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I didn't read what was going on before this. All I know is that when Joseph started having these dreams and sharing it with his family started to hate him, and his brothers left him in that pit for dead, and they turned their back on him. They lied to their father about him, and that's what was going on. He was sold into slavery by somebody else that was passing by. His brothers was finna sell him, but by the time they came back, somebody already came. Was like, man, I'm finna sell him to them, and it ended up being the Pharaoh of Egypt, right? He ended up being there with them, and just still being protected by God the whole time, right? So he was in charge of everything that the Pharaoh put him in charge in, and his wife, the Pharaoh's wife, eventually came, and she wanted Joseph. She wanted him to lay with her. She wanted some of that. Some of that holy. You can't be giving. I'm talking to the men. You can't be giving any woman. You can't give certain women a piece of you. It's literally like magic. Like for real, they don't even know how to conduct. They won't even know what to do with it for real. Which is why they do things like this. Which is what she did to him. Right? She couldn't get him. He didn't want her. So guess what? She ain't did nothing but tricked and played on somebody to get him out the way, because she couldn't have him. He didn't want her. He knew it was wrong. You feel me? His life was amazing. He no longer was haunted by the memories of his past. When you messing with God, God give you a new life. He renew you, right? So therefore, you don't associate with that old life. Like I said, we don't associate with negativeness. I no longer associate with lack. My life is luxury. I'm real handsome, look good. I'm really that nigga. Like, that's how I talk to myself. I'm the nigga with all the tattoos. I'm the nigga up in rank. I'm the nigga who, you see what I'm saying? Really intellectual. I'm emotionally intelligent. I know how to conduct myself in public. I know how to conduct myself when I'm alone. That's what God pay attention to as well. The things you do in the shadows, the things that you do when you by yourself. Do you got integrity? I learned integrity at a very young age. And it's that right there, the way I learned it, I was in this program called Lincoln Challenge, and I didn't finish the program, but that's something I took from the program and just carried along with me throughout my life. And me having integrity got me places that, man, it's like, what? How can I even I don't even know how to describe it for real, because it was just a blessing to be able to live this way, to be blessed with certain things, because I know I'm doing the right thing behind closed doors. I know I'm doing the right thing when people not looking. You see what I'm saying? That's what integrity is you gonna do what's right when people ain't looking? Is you just doing it for show, to look cool, or you doing it because you know it's the right thing? You see what I'm saying? I ain't finna go let one off because I know I ain't even into that. You feel me? I'm just holding myself. You see what I'm saying? I'm not finna go behind closed doors and bash my mama because I know it ain't right, especially if I ain't gonna say it in her face. You see what I'm saying? I'm a what's that verse? Honor your mother and your father. I don't speak to my mama for real. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, and I love her though, but I still honor her because I have nothing bad to say about her. I don't use, even when I have thoughts of just things that's going on, or if I feel wronged, or if I feel like she hurt my feelings, I check myself, because I'm pretty sure I hurt my mama feelings, right? I'm not perfect. I'm not sin free. You see what I'm saying? So I have to check myself first, make sure I ain't did nothing wrong. If I know I ain't did nothing wrong, I don't care how I feel. I'm still not finna shame nobody behind their back. I'm not gonna shame nobody without their knowledge. You see what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you gotta put your foot down and just stand up in your power and let somebody know not to play with you. But it's a way you go about that. You could be a peacemaker with putting your foot down. It's on you to know when that is, right? Because you could put your foot down in a aggressive way, and there ain't no coming back from that. Like I said, people don't be wanting to take it as far as certain people take it, right? I'm no longer gonna even associate with that. But some people you just can't play with, right? Because they take it too far. And is you really willing to go that far for your respect? Because that's really what it's about to me. You see what I'm saying? But let me get back to what I was saying. And this is life, y'all. Like, for real. My life has been structureless, right? One thing I'm learning how to do is to structure my life. Is to structure my thoughts, structure my emotions, structure my money, my finances, right? Structure my relationships. And that led right into the conversation, what I really wanted to talk about. I lost a friend. And it's not even something I want to brag about, because it was really a loss. Like, I really loved that person. That person really meant a lot to me. The reason I lost them is just because I just can't respect what they doing, right? And how they moving. And by no means am I want to say by no means am I judging them. It's just, I'm not moving like this. So therefore, I can't have nobody around me that's moving like this. And that's really what I feel. If I'm no longer I don't want to use that. No, I'm gonna use the example. If I'm no longer a murderer, if I turn my ways, if I change my ways to stop murdering, I'm not finna hang around murderers no more. You see what I'm saying? Now, that don't mean we can't be respectful to each other and we pass by each other and we speak, but on a day-to-day basis, on a you is in my life, like on some we locked in. No, because I know what come with you. I'm not willing to accept. I'm not accepting what come with you. That don't mean I have something against you. That don't mean I hate you. None of that. I don't want to be a part of that. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I said it was truly a loss, because I love this person. I ain't with that no more. That's just me being true to myself. And for so long, I was doing whatever I could to just keep the relationship going and rekindle it every time we fell out. But the thing about it is, when you don't supposed to get comfortable somewhere, you settle. Somewhere you don't supposed to get comfortable or settle somewhere you're only meant to pass through. Right now where I'm at, this workplace, I'm passing through here. I'm in here by myself, right? Because that's what it is. I'm not here for a long time, nor a good time. I'm here to do my work and move around. You see what I'm saying? I'm here to do what I need to do and move around permanently. Not just for a little bit, not for no 2-week vacation. Not for no week vacation, not for some extra PTO to go out of town for the weekend. No, I'm doing what I'm doing here so I can elevate so far up in rank I no longer have to be down here, right? When you moving up and when you on the mountain, when you on top of the mountain, you throw dirt in the valley. So if you ever fall off, you ain't got that far to go. Don't forget I said that, y'all. That's gonna come up later in y'all life, so y'all can apply that to y'all life experiences, okay? And that just simply means for the people who just a little slow, ain't nothing wrong with that, because I'm a little delayed with certain things, and I don't mind admitting that, right? I got 50K, right? I'm gonna throw 15 to the side in the stash, right? So if I ever fall off or I ever got a detrimental case, guess what? I got 15 put up over here. I could go grab that. I could bust a move with that. Put me back to where I was at. I could build myself up back past that 50. You see what I'm saying? All over the place, but just stay with me, because if y'all taking notes and y'all really listening, y'all will know all of this go together, right? It all go together. You just got to be listening. And if you ever need deeper insight on something, ask questions. If you don't want to ask me, ask God. The same way I'm sitting here talking, I sit here and talk like that to God. Believe me if y'all want to. Believe me. Don't believe me. But I promise you, y'all gonna see by the fruits of my labor. That's how you know when somebody really know God, by the fruits of their labor, right? The things that they do are successful. Their heart is pure. They know how to treat people. Things like that. That's the fruits of your labor. The fruits of your labor, not just a car or a house or, it's your well-being. It's your spirit. You will know by the fruits of their labor. Don't forget that. That's how you know who you really dealing with, right? How they conduct themselves. Do they got integrity? Are they respectful? Are they encouraging? Are they loving? You see what I'm saying? Are they disrespectful? You got to know if somebody disrespectful, right? Because if they disrespecting, if they doing this to this person, you think they gonna do it to you? I'm just saying. When you really live in a certain way, when you really live in a God, and this not me just trying to proclaim, I'm just seeing free. Like I said, I'm not seeing free. I'm not seeing free. That's just me being all the way 100. I still do things that I indulge in certain thoughts. I might keep hitting the weed knowing I need to stop. I'm gonna smoke for sure, but you shouldn't indulge in debauchery, right? Debauchery is overly indulging, right? That can be too much of anything, too much eating, too much substance, too much intake, too much consumption of anything, right? So you got to be mindful of that. Am I spending my money too freely, right? Am I popping out too much? Am I drinking too much? Am I indulging in sexual activities too much? You got to know this. You got to know what you're really doing, man. You can't be out here pointing a finger at somebody and you over here doing this, right? That's why I do my best not to shame people, right? Because I know I'm not seeing free, right? I know I'm not. What was I taking this to? I'm really just gonna end it there. We'll finish the story of Joseph another time. All right. Remember, we left off. He was protected by God. He was blessed. He was just blessed from birth. Right. Let's just start there. He was blessed from birth. Like I said, I'm not aware of what was going on before, because I didn't read before. I started at chapter 37 in Genesis 37. That's where I started at, right? He was having dreams, visions. God was talking to him. God was showing him how blessed he was, right? That's one thing God gonna do with you. He gonna let you know you great. He gonna let you know you gifted, right? The thing about Joseph, he took it to his family. He was telling his brothers and his fathers and stuff. man, I'm having these dreams, man, I see myself being great. I see y'all bowing down to me. Y'all, I ain't want to say worship, but this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this happen, and you got to really take it into, man. You should take the Bible literal, right? But you got to know when to pick and choose, right? But when you with God, He'll let you know, right? Because I don't want y'all to just stay stuck on the fact that, okay, he said his family was bowing down to him, right? And it did happen. That's part 2 of this video. He may have, for your life, that might appear as just your people loving you and respecting you, right? More than they did before. They honor you differently, right? And they just can't see it. Because they ain't like, man, you the black sheep. You really the breadwinner of your family. They just can't see it, right? You really the millionaire of your family. They just can't see it. And that's okay, right? You have to be careful of what you, excuse me, not careful. You have to be mindful of your audience. You have to be mindful of your circumstance, of your situation, excuse me. That's indications of the slow down and put an end to the video, right? So, quick recap. Joseph was blessed. He took it to his people. Man, I'm going to be great. They ain't believe him. His brothers plotted against him, left him for dead. They all his brothers turned his back on him. They lied to his father. Yeah, Joseph gone. He dead. Brought the robe back. They stripped him of his clothes, left him in the pit with nothing. Right? Took the robe back to the daddy. Yeah, look what happened to Joseph. They put the goat blood on the robe. Took it to the daddy. Yeah, man. Deceived the daddy. Right to his face. Right to his face. Right? They ain't want to kill him. One of the brothers like, nah, I can't kill my brother. Let's just leave him. Right? Let's just leave him. You see what I'm saying? They was cursed. I mean, that's the best thing they could have did, right? Because if they killed him, you'll understand in part 2 of why, how God just bless you, right? And I'm really dragging it, but man, it's just, this stuff is just so powerful, y'all. I promise y'all I could talk about this all day. Like I am gonna start talking about it more. Like I said, I'm gonna structure these videos better so the message can be received properly, right? Because I know I be all over the place. But like I said, my life was structureless. I didn't grow up with my daddy. I didn't grow up with a positive male figure to just take me under their wing and be like, come on, we doing this. It's crazy because I had somebody, I'm not gonna act like it was nobody around, right? It was just me being rebellious and didn't want to listen. I had somebody. And one thing I noticed is that I didn't necessarily take the path that they wanted me to take. And now, present day, me and that person don't even, man, we see each other sometime and they don't even speak. Hurtful. For real. But I know it's greater. It get greater later. I ain't tripping, because if that's what it is, and it's not even just that person, it was multiple people throughout life, just rewind the tape of your own life and see. Because how I feel, if that's what you was going to eventually do 5-10 years down the line, I'm glad I didn't, stand on the side of you before. You see what I'm saying? I'm cool. I may have disappointed you or let you down or whatever, but man, my kids do things that I don't like a lot. They do things that I'm against. I'm not just gonna turn my back on them. I'm no matter how much. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like that's how God loves us. That's real love, right? That's real love. You're not gonna, no matter what it is, even if I ain't just doing for you and providing for you how I was before, I'm not just gonna turn my back on. I'm not gonna do what Joseph's brothers did. Turn their back on them. They left them for dead. See what I'm saying? Y'all be blessed, man. Matter of fact, let me slow down. But part 2 coming soon, y'all. I promise y'all. This video wasn't as structured, but I appreciate y'all if y'all stayed for the whole thing. Rewatch it if you got to take notes on what's really going on. I recommend you go read Genesis 37 through 50 yourself and get your own understanding of it. We could talk about it. You see what I'm saying? It ain't. I don't mind that. It's good to know that people know God. Like, for real. That's a good thing to know. And a lot of people don't know God. When you know God, you know who know God and who don't know God. Right? So it's like, man, You can't even kick with everybody. It gets so deep. It gets so deep for me. I'm a Scorpio, y'all. It gets so deep for me. My whole astrology anatomy is just so bizarre. But that's why it's so deep for me. Like, for real. Y'all be blessed.